After years of planning, a fire training tower has been built at the Florida Gateway College Public Service Training Academy in Olustee. On June 15th, the complex was dedicated. Florida Gateway College President Dr. Larry Barrett hosted the ceremony.
This event is a culmination of just the first phase of the expansion of this campus, and we believe in the next 2 years there will be 2 additional phases in a driving pad, a high-speed track for training, and the movement of our current firing range, both rifle and pistol, from our main campus to this campus. Last night, we graduated 7 students on our first of what we think of many of our Fire Science 2 Academy. So we're already putting the workforce of Florida Gateway College before we even dedicate this building. So I'm very proud of those 7 students that were graduates of that program. We expect to graduate hundreds more in the next few years. FGC is so proud that we have this campus and we have the opportunity to train the men and women that will help us and protect us from harm, fire, and disaster. These students are the future first responders in our communities. Yesterday, we heard and saw the violence, discourse, and challenges that are becoming more extreme in our lives. But we also saw the men and women, like we are training here at FGC, run towards the challenge rather than away from it. I believe we are accomplishing that with our public safety programs here at the college. I am honored to introduce as our first speaker, Florida State Senator Rob Bradley. Senator Bradley represents 11 counties in District 5, which include Baker, Bradford, Clay, Columbia, Dixie, Gilchrist, Lafayette, Levy, Marion, and Suwannee, and Union counties. He was elected in 2012 and was re-elected in 2016, and he was unopposed. He is the chairman of the Senate Appropriations Subcommittee on the Environment and the Natural Resources and vice chairman of the Senate Environmental Preservation and Conservation Committee for the 2017 and 18 legislative sessions. He is a managing partner of a law firm in Orange Park. He is board certified by the Florida Bar as an expert in city, county, and local government. And most importantly, he was raised in Green Cove Springs. Senator Bradley is a 4th-generational North Florida native and a graduate of Clay High School. He also is very proud of his relation. He was a graduate of the University of Florida in 1992 and has a law degree from the University of Florida in 1996. And he's also a former criminal prosecutor in Clay and Duval counties. Senator Bradley in this year's session introduced legislation to help the community college begin phase 2 of our public safety facility with an appropriation. As we know, this year's session was a challenge, but with his efforts and the efforts of Representative Elizabeth Porter and others, we received a portion of this appropriation. In addition, both Representative Porter and Senator Bradley for the past 2 years have supported the Department of Education's recommendation to fund our much-needed STEM new building on our campus. After this session, they have secured $4 million of $18 million needed for this building. These accomplishments were not an easy achievement. We are so thankful for what he has done for us. Our friend and Representative Senator Bradley. This is too hot for me. I'm going to take this off.
I was hoping to do the dramatic smoke entrance. That was awesome. Well, boy, I tell you, it's such a privilege to not only represent Florida Gateway College in Columbia County, but also the way that it serves my friends in Baker County. And as we sit here today in Olustee, this is truly a regional effort. It truly is a regional college. And, so much has happened over the last few years that really was unimaginable. When you think about it, when I was growing up, the idea that there would be an attempt yesterday to have a mass assassination of a bunch of congressmen. That's what happened yesterday. And we face dangers like that now every single day as a nation and as a community. So today, it's such a meaningful day in the fact that this is where the men and women who are now teenagers, who are now in their 20s, are going to train to be first responders, to be the ones who show up like those heroes did yesterday to prevent a horrible situation from becoming even worse. we face so many myriads of threats, and we're going to have law enforcement training here, like those brave men and women with the Capitol Police. We're going to have our fire and EMT trained here, so that whenever we face the unique threats going forward, that they're going to be properly trained to handle people's medical needs, as well as anything that happens related to fire or chemical attacks going forward. So I look at this not only as such an important part of making sure that our young people are trained appropriately and protect our community, but I look at it in the larger picture of making sure us as a region are properly prepared to deal with the unique challenges of the 21st century that we face. Dr. Barrett's vision for Florida Gateway College, we are so blessed to have Dr. Barrett, are we not? I can tell you this is my 5th year in the Florida legislature as a senator, and you can tell when the cream rises to the top, and when someone takes an institution and with vision and focus take it from something that we're all proud of to something great. And Dr. Barrett focuses every single day on making sure that things like this happen. All right? Because while Representative Porter and I were happy to be a part of the team, it took a vision. John and his predecessor were part of that vision. Dr. Barrett made it happen so that we're here today to enjoy this and to phase 2 going forward. So to all my friends, first of all, thank you for the privilege of being able to represent Columbia and Baker County in the state Senate. But most of all, thank you to those brave men and women who put their lives literally on the line every day, and may this be a place where they receive the training so when their time comes, when that moment of truth comes for them, that they're completely prepared to keep us safe, and we thank them for their sacrifice on our behalf. Thank you for having us be a part of this today, Dr. Barrett. And with that, are you going to introduce representatives?
Right ahead.
Okay.
That would be much easier for me.
Oh, I understand. Yeah. Oh, it's so cool today, isn't it? You all know Liz Porter. She really needs no introduction. But I will tell you that my district changed. I just started representing Columbia and Baker County a little over 2 years ago. And Liz Porter and I struck up a friendship. And the thing that strikes me about Liz more than anything is her passion for her community and her singular focus on making things like this become a reality. And she's an incredible partner, because anybody who's taken civics knows that it ain't enough to have the Senate, it ain't enough to have the House. You got to have the House and the Senate to make something happen. And we even had to overcome a problem with the governor this year, because he vetoed this project before we were able to get it back a couple of weeks ago into the budget. None of that happens without a wonderful partner. And with that, I want to introduce my good friend, Representative Liz Porter.
Well, first off, let me just say congratulations. This is awesome. I am so excited about this. It has been up and down and up and down this year, and just all of a sudden this past week we were up again. So I am incredibly excited, incredibly grateful, and don't let the senator fool you. He is being very modest. This would not have happened without Senator Rob Bradley, and I could not ask for a better partner, someone who's more committed to the area, and someone who is easy to work with and can really make things happen. So I give the lion's share of the credit to Senator Bradley, because this absolutely would not have happened without him. And having said that, everyone here that has been involved with this, everyone that has tried to strive to bring this project to fruition, who had the vision to think up the project to begin with, and who have really followed it through from Dr. Barrett to John. And wow, it sounds like I really need to talk fast here. So our kudos, our thanks to them, because this is something that our community truly needs. And when I say our community, I don't mean just Lake City. I don't mean just Baker County. This is truly a state college. This isn't a community college because there are so many branches of this college in our area and so many students that they serve in so many different cities and counties that this is, as the Senator said, a regional college and a regional attraction when it comes to folks who are looking to be trained in law enforcement and first responder activities. So I just want to say it was an honor to be part of this project. I'm so thrilled that we were able to come out here today and celebrate the fact that it has arisen from the ashes of the governor's veto, and I thank the governor for allowing us to bring this back. Like I said, it's been up and down, but here we are today, and I cannot wait to see the actual facility at completion. I think it's going to be a fabulous thing. I hope we do another event in November, and we can all be back here again to see that happen. But thank you for allowing me to serve as I come into my final twilight years of serving this district. Happy to do so, have been pleased to do so, and will certainly ensure that that the last year that I am here, I can do everything I can for higher education and our state colleges, and certainly for Florida Gateway College, which is our crown jewel. So congratulations to all involved, and thank you for allowing me to be part of this today.
We're just so blessed to have two wonderful representatives in our legislature. So thank you again to both of you for representing us. It's my honor to introduce one of the Board of Trustees of Florida Gateway College, Mr. Robert Brannon. We know him as Chuck Brannon. Chuck represents Baker County and has represented the Florida Gateway College and Lake City Community College for, I believe, at least 16 or 17 years now, Chuck. So he would like to make some remarks on behalf of the Board of Trustees.
Thank you, Dr. Baird. Our chairman, Suzanne Norris, could not be here today, so I'm sort of a fill-in, so I don't have any prepared remarks, and that's a good thing on a hot day like today. I think back to the year that I was chairman back in 2012, and I had the opportunity to cut the ribbon on our new library. And I remember that day how important it was to get that facility built and done. Probably the first construction on our college in about 2 decades. And I remember saying that day that I hope that that building became a focal point and an integral part of our college. And I can't even remember the college without that building now. It doesn't seem like it's only been 4 or 5 years that facility became that important to us. And I hope that as we add on to this facility here in Olustee, and of course I'm proud that it's here in Baker County and the county that I represent on the board, I can remember that this facility was the old experiment station, the naval stores. And as a 4, 5, or 6-year-old kid, I was talking to Avery Roberts a while ago. I remember we'd drive through here on our way to Lake City, and you'd see the sign. Commissioner Cross, our county commissioner's here today, and he's always lived in Olustee, so he knew about all this stuff. But as a McClenny boy, I'd come through here and I'd see the sign that said Ocean Pond. And I thought, well, there must be a big ocean out here somewhere. And then you go a mile down the road and it said Naval Stores Experiment Station. And I thought, well, gosh, they must build great sailing ships here somewhere in Olustee. But, of course, Avery and them could tell you a little bit more about that, and this building's a part of that. The green building here is a part of that history. I think that comes from the turpentine industry and the rosin. They used to coat the old sailing ships in the 17 and 1800s to keep them from leaking between the planks, and that's where that term came for. And, of course, that industry went away, and somebody before my time on the board had the foresight to acquire this property and turn it into a training center where, first of all, for law enforcement. And when I went through Law Enforcement Academy almost probably 30 years ago, we were still at the college. And still, even 30 years later, all through my career, we still go to Gainesville to get our drive-in training for police. And that's about to change because our Senator Bradley and our Representative Porter have helped restore that money. So a lot of more good things are coming. I'll close with this, and I always want to salute our teachers. You know, there's 3 pieces to the puzzle, or maybe a 3-legged stool would be a better description of our college. There's the buildings and these facilities like we're honoring today, and the library that we built a few years ago. There are the books, and books today have changed, that sometimes that means virtual books and different things in the digital age, but it takes a third leg of that stool. Between facilities and books, it takes teachers and it takes staff, and they really cause those buildings and those books to hum to life and bring the words in those books to us as knowledge. And those buildings do become historical over the years, and every student that comes through here becomes a fabric of the part of what was Lake City Community College and now Florida Gateway College. So I hope that today everybody that trains here will take that knowledge and go forth in their careers and do noble causes, whether it be in police, fire, rescue, receiving a certificate up here, and then the folks that go through the main campus and get their degrees. And let me plug the college just a little bit. I don't know if you know this, but our students who go to Lake City, still say it, Lake City Community College, Florida Gateway College, and transfer to a university in the state of Florida, whether it be Florida State or the University of Florida, Senator Bradley, they always have a higher grade point average than those that start as freshmen. And you think about that, the training that they get right here at Florida Gateway College, they excel and do better than those students that go straight to the university. Our nursing students consistently score on their state board exams in the top percentile. What better places our science is start here and go anywhere. Thank you. Thank you for having me, and I appreciate you letting me represent the board today. Thank you.
Before we talk about our donors, Senator Bradley just wanted to personally thank them, so I want to give them the podium back.
I apologize for, I know you're probably already tired of hearing from me in this hot day, but there was a very important message that I wanted to deliver to Avery Roberts, Potash, and First Federal, and others, and that is this. Listen, when this made it into the budget, the argument was this community stepped up. The private dollars made this happen. We would not have the state match if not for the private donations and the generous donations of this community. And I think that it's very important that was why we're here today, not because some elected officials, but because some private individuals bought into the vision and made this happen. And that's the argument that we made to make this a reality for the state match. And I just wanted to make sure Chuck and the board and everybody understood how critical that was. So thank you so much.
What a great segue. I have one of my best friends in the community who welcomed me when I came, Mike Williams, who's the chairman of the Florida Gateway College Foundation and who has been so generous personally and through the Potash Corporation that was one of the major sponsors and donators for this project. So I want to introduce Mr. Mike Williams.
Thank you, Rick. Okay, we're not going to talk about Potash Corp today, but we are going to talk about the Foundation for Florida Gateway College. We are a direct support organization that helps the college to achieve its vision. Okay? We work in synergy and in partnership with the college to help them achieve things like this. We also help provide scholarships to students so they have the opportunity to go to and attend one of the best colleges in the region. So what I want to say is, as you look here and you see all this behind you, it's synergy. It is the hard work of many partners throughout our community and through our legislature and through our college who all come together to make good things happen for our community. So it's all about being community stakeholders and being involved in the community. So we are, and there are a lot of foundation board members who are here today, and I thank you, and I'm just representing them, but we are proud to support our college and to help them in their goals. And what you see here is bringing a much needed economic catalyst to our community where we will be able to train and provide our own public safety people without them having to go to Tallahassee or Ocala or those other places, because we can train them at home now. And we can bring other people here to train them if they need it. So with that, it's really hot. I want to thank you, but this is what partnership is all about, when people come together to work together to make good things happen. So thank you.
And our final person I'd like to bring to the podium is Mr. Lee Pinchok, the Executive Director of the Florida Gateway College Foundation, who will honor and recognize the wonderful donors of this project.
I just told Senator Bradley if anybody can steal my thunder, it's him, but we can't say it enough, as he said. So we're gonna go ahead and recognize everybody again. $300,000. Let that sink in. $300,000 because of our community and private donations. The Foundation for Florida Gateway College was able to contribute to this project. This is the work our foundation strives for every day, and without the support of community members, business partners, none of this happens. I'd like to recognize those donors who helped make this possible, and I think for the sake of time, why don't we wait till the end for rousing applause, okay? Potash Corp and Mike Williams have continued their mission to selflessly contribute to our community, and their dollars specifically went to purchase this fire tower. The banner up there is just a temporary banner as a permanent sign is made that will forever link them to this project. In order to build this fire tower, the 5 acres we're standing on today need to be cleared and prepped for construction. Avery and Twyla Roberts so generously donated their company's time and resources to accomplish this task. Part of phase 2 of this project includes a renovation of the building you see to the left, and it is our honor to honor Avery and Twyla and his family in letting that building forever be known as the C.A. Roberts Pavilion in honor of Avery's father. First Federal Bank of Florida and Keith Livefree. I'm glad Keith could join us today. He didn't think he was going to be able to make it, but he's here. They helped us start the very first public safety endowment fund, which means the funds they put in will allow our foundation to contribute to this facility now in perpetuity. We can continue forever to help support this. You do see some toys to your left that there will be a brief demonstration on shortly. That was provided by our friends at the Weyerhaeuser Group. And the Swanee Valley Community Foundation also provided the necessary funds to allow us to, when that building's complete to your left, there will be a viewing area so we don't all have to sit out in the sun like this today. And finally, at the 11th hour, and I was hoping something like this would happen, truthfully, we've had a final donation, not final, donations can continue in perpetuity, but we had a donation just come up to me today. And you see a sign on the name of this building, Draeger. This is the company that put this building together, spent many, many months helping us figure out all the complexities that would go into it. And I'm proud to announce that we've got a couple of their representatives today, George Balance and Frank Albello, excuse me. And they are going to, John, why don't you come on up for this? They're going to donate to this facility a absolute top-of-the-line thermal imaging camera so that these firefighters, when they're inside, they can actually see what they're doing instead of just walking around in the dark. So I'll let you guys, if you want to describe it anymore, go right ahead, and John will accept it for you.
I just want to say that we're just as proud as you are every time we build one of these facilities. Being a resident of Florida, Frank in Miami, myself in Jacksonville, and oh, by the way, he's wearing red for the Marines, I'm wearing blue for the Navy today. We are so proud every time we have a grand opening for one of these because it is going to train current and future heroes. And I just can't wait to see the final result of the entire complex because it is truly world class. And you can see how it's already started out to look exactly like that. So Frank, why don't you describe what we're going to donate to the foundation today?
Okay, what we have here is just a thermal imaging camera that's going to be primarily used for training. You can use it in live fire. But the main feature here for training would be to be able to record and play back on the camera or download that information and play back on the computer or on a big screen for the firemen to review their training. That's the main feature here for you guys. So here you go, John.
So I said let's wait till the end for a big round of applause, but thank you to the donors, thank you to the corporations, thank you for keeping this facility going and for training the people that are keeping all of us safe. So thank you to everybody.
Thank you. And right before we do the ribbon cutting, I want to bring up John Jewett, the executive director of this wonderful campus, who's going to set off a little simulation here for us.
Yeah, if it wasn't hot enough, we're going to set a car on fire. So we have our Draeger 64 propane system, and we're going to set this thing on fire and then let some of our graduates put it out. So let's do it.
Ready to cut it? On three. You guys on the end, hold it tight now. 1, 2, 3. Thank you so much for coming.
The next phase to be completed is a driving pad where law enforcement, paramedics, and firefighter students will receive training in emergency vehicle operations.